Thank you for coming to my channel, Compass Starlight. How are you showing up for yourself? And that is like, what are you doing to stand in your power? What are you doing to stand up for yourself and your own interests? And how are you showing that of yourself to the world? How are you presenting yourself? Are you standing behind that which A, empowers you, and B, gives you joy and happiness? Really just looking at how I am showing up for myself. And so it prompted me to begin a couple projects I've had in mind for a long time, to begin them, to start them, and put them out into the world, because really we are in a time where it's not in here, it's out there, showing up in the world. But what's in here is really creating what's out there, even if that includes what's in here. Yeah. I feel like I've been a bit withdrawn in terms of engaging with what's out there, but I'm also creating, or I'm in the preliminary stages, the planning stages of creation, to put something out, to put many things out. There's also the self-reflection and analysis, because what's in here is reflected out there, and what's in here is something that's in the process. It doesn't matter where that happens. It's like being a person who is religious and wanting to pray, and yet you don't have to go to a church or temple to pray, because the temple of God, whichever is your God, if you believe in a God, the temple of God is everywhere around you, and therefore you can pray wherever you are. You don't have to go to a church to pray or a temple. I have all of these ideas and things that I want to do, I want to engage in, I want to start, ways that I want to make slight changes to my life on a daily basis, but I'm not at a point where I'm ready to reach out and make that happen. Instead, I'm spending a lot of time at home, and there's a part of me that feels a little bit guilty, that, or even contradictory, that I think that I want to go out and do these things or change these things about my life, and yet I'm spending a lot of time at home and I'm not actually making those changes or doing those things. But that's okay, because what it's revealing is what I really want, and that is to enjoy my peace at home and to enjoy the space and the time that I have to reflect. And everything about that is beautiful, and it's perfectly okay. It is what I have manifested, so I might as well enjoy it until the things that I am considering doing in the future, until that time arises when I will embrace those things and change my reality. And that's really what it's all about right now, is that design, that plan. So I was just reflecting, and that's kind of the message for today, although I did shuffle up my cards, and I thought I would try to draw two, one from my archetype deck and one from my tarot deck for current energies. So let's see what kind of characteristics we can embrace with the archetype deck. This is the Mantegna Tarot, and I shuffled prior to hitting record. Let's see if anything wants to hop out. I feel like they're sticking together, like they're grounding clusters. They're sticking together. And what is that telling me? That there are ideas that are sticky, that are hard to differentiate. There we go. Oh, I got three, however. Oh. Oh, switch up the glasses. Euterpe, card number 18. Temperance, card number 34. And the Sun, card number 44, in reverse. I don't usually read these in reverse, so that must have happened during shuffling. This card, the Sun, reminds me a lot of the Chariot, because the Charioteer, well, the Chariot card in Tarot is about an individual who is able to harness the masculine and feminine energies, to harness the light and the dark in order to move forward, and he leaves the town to explore new lands. In this card, there is a charioteer with the horses, and there is a star. Is it the sun? Presumably. But that is one bright star, right? Ball of gas, this protagonist is pursuing the sun, pursuing the star, and yet there is an individual that has fallen from grace, fallen from the chariot. What this says to me today is that you may be in a position where you can choose to pursue that which lights you up, that ball of fire, or you can let go of the notion of doing so, in which case you fall out of the chariot, you fall off that path through the sky. Now, the card came up in reverse. 44. It's a card of stability. This actually suggests to me, in reverse, that there's an in-between. It's neither the action in pushing oneself to follow that inspiration and that ball of fire, nor is it the notion of giving up on said ideas. It is somewhere in between, like neither one of these circumstances or choices to pursue the ball of fire, that ignition, or to abandon it. Neither one of those paths, perhaps, are the right choice. Act clearly and consistently. That is the message of the card upright. So in reverse, I would even say that we may be at a point where we're still developing a plan or a path such that it's impossible at the moment to act clearly and consistently, because we are still processing things, because there are elements in the design that we are creating that are still changeable. They are up in the air. That's what I get for the card the Sun. And going back to Temperance, '34. Traditionally in the tarot, this is a card about balance. The ability to alchemize. And indeed, in this deck, the Temperance protagonist does have those two pitchers of water to alchemize the energy. We're still finding balance. We're still negotiating, like, what is the right amount of patience to have? What is... There are kitties playing in the background, I'm sorry if you hear the background noise. What is the right amount of patience to have? What is the right amount of everything in this plan? Like, what is the correct amount of investment, spiritually, emotionally, physically, temporally, if you will, doing? Are you trying to create a catastrophe? It's a card of moderation. Yeah. Prevention is the best cure. So, this is like, how can we prevent ourselves from falling out of the chariot? How can we prevent ourselves from abandoning this path in which we would be pursuing that which ignites us? It's time, it's more planning, it's more consideration of the overall plan and how we will invest in that plan. And then Uterp, card number 18. Notice that some of these cards in this deck, there is a sphere involved, and neither, even the star that is the sun, does not really show up like a sphere. But here, in the Uterp card, there is a sphere. It is the moon, which suggests that we are going through a cycle, and to pay attention to that cycle. What is this cycle telling us? Inspiration. Listen to the notes everything lets out. And the protagonist here is playing a flute. She's harmonizing energy. That time we're taking with the temperance is time taken to consider the notes that everything lets out. Considering how you're showing up, what kind of frequency, how do things make you feel and raise your own vibration? Like this plan that you are creating, this future you are manifesting, this design you are designing, you are the architect. But you have to take you have to take some time and listen to how it makes you feel in your headspace as you intellectually analyze the plan, in your heart, emotionally. How does it make you feel overall? Is it something that makes you feel good and it's raising your vibration? How can you turn this card upright so that you don't fall out of the chariot, so that you can continue on this path towards your inspiration, towards your sun, without facing obstacles? Let's see if I can get one from the tarot, because one fell out. It's the Four of Cups. What are you not looking at? What is the universe handing you that you are taking for granted or refusing to see? It's the time. It's the time to reflect. That's it. What you are refusing to see is the benefit of this time that you have to plan, to sit and experience all of what these three cups have taught you. The contents of these three cups, the emotions associated with past experiences. What have those emotions and past experiences taught you that you can take the lessons and the wisdom from those lessons and bring that forward? The universe is presenting a new opportunity for you to emotionally engage. And if you sit there and overlook the opportunity to analyze and to make the plan, that is where, again, you would find yourself falling out of the chariot, falling off your path towards that which inspires you. That's the message. Thank you for coming to my channel, Compass Starlight. Be well.